Shalom friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well and you are blessed and you have known peace in this past few days, because everything has seemed to be going completely out of just craziness out there, and every news is just heavy news, and it's really hard to be connected and wants to know what's going on. Just knowing that it might seem kind of dark or too heavy to bear. So I wanted to make another video because Allah has been talking to me lately about Jacob's struggles and the birth pains also that came in the same life cycle of Jacob, who later became Israel. And I just wanted to share this word. Is so timely because Jacob's trouble, he was a man that was born, and from the wound he was already having trouble with his brother in the wound, in his mother's womb. So I believe that Jacob's trouble was because he was a man that wanted to live the life of Torah, the life of the word of God that he had learned while he was in the tent with his mom, with his parents. And he just wanted to be a man of a godly man, a man that keeps the word, lives a righteous life. And so all throughout his life he had trouble. He had trouble in the womb, his mother's womb. He had trouble growing up with his brother. He had trouble wanting to be receiving the blessing from the father. It was something that God revealed to his mom, Rebecca, when she was pregnant for him. And he had to fight for that blessing. He had to disguise himself by the words of his mother. This is your blessing, and we're going to have to find a way to get it, because I don't think your father's seeing it right now. And so I can really relate to so many of those things that I just said. But the word is that having struggles because wanting to live a righteous life, having struggles because wanting to be a blessed, godly person. And this is so timely, because right now, if you're out there and you are trying to stand for what is godly, for what is real truth, by the word, for what is right, for what is justice, you will have troubles, many troubles. This is not going away, brothers and sisters and friends. This is just gonna get stronger and more, I guess, dark and powerful out there, and trying to come against these things. And we will have struggles. We will have Jacob's struggles. One of the struggles that he had was also encountering his brother after just leaving and getting all these wives and children, and coming home and having to face his own family. He struggled because he didn't want any more problems. He just wanted to basically bless his brother and be blessed. And that he fought an angel, which seems a messenger of God, or was it Yeshua? There's different speculations about that one. But he fought an angel all night, and what I gather from that is that he was saying, I am not going to be able to move forward from this one unless you bless me. We will not be able to move forward in this life unless we are blessed people. And we have struggled and we have fought the good fight all the night, if that's the only way to get there. But pleading and crying out to God, to Abba, bless me, because I will not be able to face anything that is coming. Not even next day or next week or next month or next year without your blessing. And in that blessing, he was given a new name. The name of Israel, that means he just basically struggled with God, and he would not let go, and he would just fall until he got blessed. He would not let go of God until he received that blessing. And so that's such an example for us to just fight the good fight, to struggle for the right reasons, to not let go of God and his word and his promises, to not let go of what he has spoken to you about your life and your children and grandchildren and family life, how he will bless you, how these promises are around the corner and they will come, because he's not a man that he will lie. And I just want to encourage you in every message to know that God is for you. Who can be against you? He wants to bless you in every way. Just be faithful. Just stand strong for the truth and the righteousness that he speaks about in his word. Know his word. Know how faithful he is. Be faithful to him. Be loyal. One of the things that we also hear in the story of Jacob, then he's become Israel, and he has all these children in the process of actually receiving, who then became the 12 tribes. He was in love with one of his wife, Rachel. And this wife was the only wife that he really wanted in the process of all these things that happened to him. And he ended up with 4 wives because he was deceived. But God blessed that too. And all these children were born out of the struggle, out of this fight to do the right thing and to be blessed. But it just so happened, all this childbirth pains that he went through, every single one of the children were born out of a pain and a struggle and a fight between the women and a desire to be the one that would just carry on the descendants of Jacob, the seed of Abraham, the grandchildren of Isaac. And we are only just speaking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, Jacob. So all this birth pain happening concluded in the fact that his loved one, when they fled, when they left her parents' house, her father's house, Lavan, she took the idols that belonged to the father, because it was believed that she would left them behind. He would find out through those idols where Jacob and them left to, how to find them, how to persecute them and catch up to them. So she took the idols, but Jacob didn't know that. And at the same fact, when Laban caught up to them, he said, if anybody will have idols, that person will just die. And so that's a lesson for us to understand that the price of having idols is not everlasting life, and a life of being blessed is death. And so I believe in this story, Abba is calling you to see that in reality, Rachel was trying to do what she thought it was the right thing, but not in God's eyes, because she had idols. And after having all these children and being able to give birth to the Joseph, which he was the loved one, Rachel was also pregnant on the times this journey was taking place. And at the time that she was giving birth, because of the word that Jacob said, and that Jacob not knowing this, she was dying giving birth. And so there are stories that are saying in the prophets, in Jeremiah, I think it's chapter 31, when it's talking about Rachel crying for the children that were no more. And she's weeping for these children. And I believe it's just considering all the children of the house of Israel that were dispersed into the nations. But in this moment, she had a child. And when she's having a child, she's calling this child, I think it was Ben-Oni, or in that term of meaning that this was the son of her suffering, son of her pain, because she was dying in that labor, as Jacob pronounced, that whoever had the idols would die. And that's the story that we need to get really close to and understand. Whoever has idols will die. But at the same time, Jacob turned around. Israel said, no, this is the son of my right hand, and I will call him Benjamin. And that means something like that in Hebrew. It means the son of my right hand, meaning that he knows she was dying and he will have to raise this child really close to his right hand, really close to him. He will be the mother and the father almost, because the mother will be no more, just because of idols. And we see in the life of Jacob all these scenarios where birth pains then turn into a joy. And so we have to understand and be encouraged, because as we're seeing all these Jacob struggles or birth pains happening in the world right now, and we're seeing a lot of death because of idols, because of people not wanting to stand for the truth, or maybe not even believing the truth of God, the righteousness of His word that applies to all His children, falling for all the lies. And there's a lot of birth pains that are causing a lot of death through idols and through other things. And believe me, I know there's a lot of innocent people paying for the same price. But God knows He's just, and He knows what to do with those souls. So I pray an encouraging word to believe that if we're fighting, struggling with God, we will be blessed. And if we are seeing any birth pains happening, we will also see life and rejoicing afterwards, because there's always a rejoicing. Because the birth pains bring a life and many lives. Friends, be blessed. Be encouraged. I know this message was a little bit heavy or maybe a lot to hear, but know that there's times of struggles right now. There's times of pain right now. There has always been, but now it's intensifying just to see who's going to receive that joy in the end, who's going to be standing in righteousness and justice for the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. My friends, be blessed. I pray a blessing over you and your families to have joy and shalom in these times. Be blessed. See you again on the next one. Shalom.